So I am about to cook right now. I'm gonna get together all the ingredients and I am making creamy Parmesan herb chicken, but I'm not adding mushrooms because we don't like mushrooms. So gotta get all the ingredients together. I'm gonna leave that there in case somebody wants to screenshot that. And then that's hubby's stream, sorry. If you guys want, you can screenshot that too if it's clear enough. But yeah, so I'm currently trying to defrost this a little more. I left it in the fridge overnight and still kind of frozen, and this may not be the correct way to do this, but I'm in a rush as usual, so doing that. And then these are the ingredients that we are going to be using, and so we're having 1 tablespoon of minced garlic. Again, I'm not going to be using the mushrooms. We have 1 teaspoon of dried basil, 1 teaspoon of dried oregano, and then I have to put the parsley flakes aside. We'll be using 2 teaspoons of that. I also need 1.5 cups of 2% milk, 1 teaspoon of this chicken flavor bouillon. I don't know how to say this. Bouillon, I don't know. Salt and pepper over here to taste. 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. You're gonna mix this with some milk at the end when you're making the sauce. 3 to 4 cups fresh grated Parmesan cheese, and then an extra 1/4 cup of fresh chopped parsley extra to serve, but I probably won't be using that much. And then I also have some spinach to add in, and I'm gonna be adding this as our side. I'm not sure if I'm gonna add any rice, but this is what we're gonna have. You just gotta microwave it and you got your steamed veggies. Alright, so I have preheated the oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, so that's already hot in there. And then my chicken is pretty much done defrosting. Right now I'm gonna season it with the garlic powder, salt and pepper. So I'm doing this again, guys, with one hand because hubby is doing a tournament right now, so he can't help me. And I was supposed to make this yesterday, but plans changed. I'm just gonna season it with the garlic now. Alright, just gonna kind of rub that in so it's not all falling off. Turn it over and do the same thing. Okay, so I'm going to put this on medium to high heat, and I'm going to be spraying some non-stick pan butter flavor in here. And we're basically gonna put kind of a lot. We're gonna sear the chickens inside for 3 to 4 minutes on each side, and then after that we are gonna transfer it into the oven. Okay, so this should be hot enough now, and I'm gonna transfer these over, and we are gonna wait for it to get golden and like crunchy on each side. Definitely gonna need a bigger pot afterwards, or a pan. Alright, so I'm gonna let that cook. This recipe is actually for 6 pieces of chicken, but I only had 4. I didn't know that the package was gonna be so small. So we're gonna have a lot of sauce left over, but the sauce is super bomb, so it's actually not a problem. Alright, so I just flipped it over. This is how it's looking, a little crispy. I might turn it over once more again just to get it a little more crunchy looking, but I'm actually barely flipping it on the skin side now, so we'll see how that turns out. So I'm about to turn this again, And it does look a little crunchier right after we are going to put this in the oven for about 30 minutes to cook through entirely. But this might be it. We're going to save the juice because we're going to be using it in the sauce afterwards. So I'm just going to turn this down now. If you guys can see, it does look more cooked through. The skin looks good. We don't want it too hard. Okay, so I just laid out some foil on a baking pan, and I'm going to just lightly spray it with the PAM. Again, you can use whatever you want. It did say cooking oil, but I don't know. The one that we had was super expired. So I'm gonna bring this. Yeah, so this is definitely crunchy now, but I'm gonna bring this to the foil, and then we are going to bake it for 30 minutes. And I wish I had that tasty technology to film it cooking in the oven, but I don't. So again, I'm doing this all with one hand. Ezekiel normally helps me film, but I'm gonna put this in and then set the timer. You guys don't even know how good this is gonna look afterwards. Okay, timer, I'm gonna go to 30. There you go. So while the chicken is in the oven, you're actually supposed to take about 2 tablespoons and set it aside. This is going to be for the sauce. This is just the excess fat and the juices from the chicken. So this is going to just help it be more flavorful afterwards. And actually got a super bigger freaking pan. And this is just going to give room for all the sauce. It's going to be really creamy. Going to add spinach in it. So yeah, there's 8 minutes left. This is what it's looking like right now. Looking pretty good. Got all those juices going on, but we're not gonna use it. And soon enough, we'll be done. Okay, so just so I don't have to do this later, I am already mixing the 1 tablespoon of cornstarch with 2 tablespoons of milk, and what this does is just makes the sauce a little more creamy and thick. You use cornstarch for sauces and gravy, so we're gonna add that in later on and you guys will see that. I currently have the chicken on warm, but I am gonna take it out really quickly. I'm actually going to use the fat juices from this instead of the pan, so I'm gonna transfer that right now. Alright, so this is how much of the juice I saved on the side, and I also got together my 1.5 cup of milk. Right now we are about to warm all of the herbs and the garlic into the pan. So I'm gonna turn this on medium to high heat. Let's see, right there, and I'm going to add this in. I'm gonna add in my I think it was tablespoon of the garlic, and we are going to just let that get fragrant, meaning just you know, you can smell the garlic leaving the pan. So you only need to do this for 1 minute, and then we're gonna go ahead and add all the rest of the herbs. And this would be the moment where if you do like mushrooms, you would add them in. But like I said, we don't like them. So basically, if you do add the mushrooms, you are going to just cook it all together until the mushrooms are cooked. So that should be done. And I'm gonna go over here and just throw all of it in. Mix that together. This is what is going to make the amazing sauce. We'll just let that warm up a little bit. Okay, so since we obviously don't have mushrooms, I am just going to go ahead and pour in the milk. And we are going to bring this to a gentle simmer. You do not want to boil it. And at that time, we are going to add the chicken flavor. And I believe we are gonna season it with salt and pepper to taste. All this at the end is going to look so rich and creamy, and it's the best sauce I've honestly ever tasted. I make this separately when I make pasta, and it just goes with everything. So I'm gonna wait for that to simmer, and then I'll be back. Okay, so this is what I see as a gentle simmer. You do not want to boil it. I am going to slightly lower this a little bit, and right now we are gonna go ahead and put the chicken flavor, whatever it's called, inside. Gonna mix this up. And I'm not a fan of too much salt, to be honest. If I can avoid adding it into recipes, I do. But don't mind my nose, I have allergies right now. I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of salt and a little bit of black pepper. I'm gonna mix this up again. All right, and now it's gonna be the hard part. I'm gonna add in the cornstarch mixture. Whew. Yeah, that's hard. With one hand, and gotta stir this so it will thicken. And as you can see there in the middle, it is getting a little bit thicker. There's more in the bowl, but I'm gonna see if my mom can help me record this part before my camera dies. And when that's done, I am going to add the chicken back and put in the spinach. Okay, right now we are going to add in the Parmesan cheese. It says only half a cup, but I do like Parmesan cheese, so I put a little bit more. And we are going to let this melt, and it's gonna make the sauce a little bit thicker as well. You guys can see this is the consistency now. That is what we want. All right, everybody, so now that it is melted, this is what we have, and I am about to add the chicken back to the pan. So this has been keeping warm in here. Just gonna grab it one by one, set it inside, and then afterwards I'm gonna cover it with the sauce. My camera is literally about to die. If that does happen, I'm gonna go ahead and move on to recording with my phone. Quality will not be as great, but I wanna make sure I get this done. Gonna turn that off, and here we go. Sitting in here, I'm going to cover it a little bit just to get that flavor to really seep inside of everything. Now if I were making rice, then this is what I would actually pour on top of the rice as well, but I don't want to wait for rice right now, so this is what we are working with. All right, I'm going to actually lower the heat a little bit so that it's not boiling and messing up the sauce. Really quickly before my camera dies, we are gonna go ahead and add in the spinach, and of course, like every recipe, you are going to wait for it to wilt. I'm gonna mix it up inside of here, and we will be closer to being done. Okay, so this is how it's looking right now. I'm about to take a little bit more of the Parmesan cheese, and you're just gonna sprinkle it over everything. And then we're gonna go in and top it with a little more of parsley flakes just for garnish. And this is still on low heat, so we're gonna let the cheese kind of melt down a bit, and we are gonna be all done. Show you guys what it looks like when I make it look all pretty on the plate. There you have it. This stuff is so good. I wish that you guys could taste it through the screen. Okay, so this is now gonna be phone quality, but we're gonna take the steamed veggies and we are gonna microwave for let's see, 6 minutes. And I believe we're supposed to do it this way. Pick up here. Yeah. Microwave it that way for 6 minutos. I don't know how to use this. Whoa, 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 whoa. And start. So we're gonna let that steam in there, and that'll be our side. Okay, so this is done now. A little scared to take this out, but I'm gonna bring it over here, open it up, and I'm gonna place it on the plate and make it look nice and pretty. Alrighty, so this is the completed product. Normally I serve this over rice, but today we just got the veggies. Like I said, you should be able to cook this with 6 pieces of chicken, and you can make more sauce if needed. This is what's left over. And yeah.